CNA has failed massively.
They still are our bargaining agent, yet we've voted them out.
The union has done nothing for us in 4 years.
Nobody has talked to me. I've gotten no mail. I've gotten no communication whatsoever with the CNA in the year and a half that I've been here, even though they're still legally representing me.
Who is my CNA representative? No idea.
It makes me frustrated that we'd have to go through all these things just to get them to go away.
And yet they say that they are representing the nurses. They're not representing the nurses, they're representing themselves.
They failed to get a contract. They failed at times to return nurses' calls who have questions.
I think the nurses here lost because the union did not do a good job of negotiating a contract for us.
We kept waiting, and there was just never a contract presented to us. And they just didn't bargain for us at all. Everything was just always at a standstill.
CNA failed greatly when they rejected Inland Valley's offer for retro pay raises.
The hospital wanted to give us the raises and CNA stopped it.
If they wanted to help us, then why wouldn't they have helped us right then and there? But no, they wanted what they wanted. They weren't here for us.
Nurses here lost a lot of money because of the union, because of CNA being here.
The CNA is putting their interest above the nurses.
The CNA was more interested in other issues like the Temecula Hospital and getting it stalled so it wouldn't be built and things than helping us get our contract signed.
It doesn't sit well with me how the CNA has used dirty tactics to try and stop the building of the hospitals and to take away our 12-hour shifts and to keep us from having our raises that we deserve.
Little surprised that they would try to block the building of a new hospital. That is certainly part of the evolution of Southwest healthcare system to build a new hospital in Temecula and to afford great opportunities for the nurses.
And even when the nurses came out and said, do not do that, we do not agree, they disregarded anything the nurses had to say about that, and they moved ahead on their own.
And there was at one point where they said that that could go away if we would agree to certain issues on the contract. So that made me realize they weren't in it for the right reasons.
They only want to do what they want to do. If our decision isn't agreeable to them, then they just don't want to hear it.
Sometimes the CNA does not stand for the same values that the nurse may believe in. And so then, really you have to think about, do I want a group whose values are not the same as mine to be representing me?
One of the worst things we can do is open the paper and see that there's articles attacking the hospital, the CNA attacking the hospital, when we're trying to bring excellent service here to the community, and all the community reads about is these battles with unions, and it doesn't serve anybody's purpose at all.
I don't understand why the CNA is still here. I don't understand what they don't comprehend about the word no. I don't know why they still want to be here, with one exception, and that's the monetary aspect of it.
That's what they care about. They don't necessarily care about the nurses.
I don't think they're really here to represent the nurses. I think they're here to increase their numbers, to increase their income.
I've noticed that a lot of the money that gets paid from our dues goes towards the salaries and administrative costs of the CNA. I personally have never seen any money from the CNA. I don't know where they're spending it on us as nurses.
CNA is a business, and the only way businesses stay viable is through funding, obviously, and their funds come from nurses' dues. That's it, period.
The union said that they wanted it to be where every nurse must pay dues or would be terminated. The hospital wanted nurses to have a choice.
I don't agree with being fired for not paying CNA fees.
$1,000 is a lot of money, and for today's economy, I need the money.
At some point during negotiations, I know that there was talk about strike,
And I've certainly seen them do it before, so I take it as a very real potential for the future.
The threat of striking is very real. I know of other hospitals up north in Northern California that have been represented by the CNA, that the CNA had the nurses come out on strike.
And going out on strike, you know, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You don't know how long you're going out on strike, and you don't get any pay while you're on strike. The union leaders still get their pay, but you don't get your pay. And, you know, you're kind of at their mercy. We've seen them make decisions without even asking us for a vote.
My only question would be to each and every single nurse, how much does your paycheck matter? Can you truly afford to miss 3 days of work? What about that house payment? What about your children's school, their clothes, food on the table? We need to seriously think about the impact of what a strike could have on your family.
I don't understand why a nurse would want to risk a strike for a union that's demonstrated they can't really do anything for them.
It would be the worst thing for the patient population in the area, and that's what we are about, is serving our patients.
When I first interviewed for the job at Inland Valley, I met with nurses. I saw the energy and the excitement, and I talked with the patients. And clearly, the quality of care that the RNs deliver here is second to none.
We as nurses have a voice here, and I have seen that come about even more so over the past few years that I've been here.
I don't want to have to pay towards the union. I don't want to have to make the choice whether to go on strike or not. I don't feel that I need the union to represent me in order to have this place be better, because I feel that the administration and the management is doing a good job of making changes that are making me happy to be here.
The issues that was from 4 years ago have been resolved. I believe have been resolved by our new management. They've been doing a great job.
I have to say that we have accomplished a lot in the last 4 years. Charge nurse training, changing the leadership structure, that's all been accomplished. However, it was really hard because we did that with the union constantly trying to block us at every step of the way.
I believe the hospital has tried to make things better. We've got a lot more managers. We've had a changeover. We've had a lot of promotion from within.
As nursing professionals, we are advocates for patient care. We can advocate for ourselves. Nursing does not need anybody between nursing leadership and frontline nurses. We are about getting it done at the bedside, and together we can do so much.
I don't like to leave anything to chance when I want to talk to the RN, so I go to them. I round and go to them. There's people that have an open door policy and expect people to come to you. I go to them and want to make first contact where they deliver the care.
I feel like I can talk to my managers, that they are caring, they care about the nurses here, all the way up to the administrators. We do see them come to the units and ask us what's going on, if there's anything they can do to help us out, and I think that would end up stopping if we ended up with a contract with CNA.
Without the union, I can get an answer right away from my supervisor, administrator, or whatnot. And I'm happy with what they're doing for us.
I don't see any reason why the CNA should be here now representing the nurses, because they do a great job representing themselves to administration, and we listen.
They've had 4 years to try and get this resolved and to try and get us a contract, and for 4 years I've seen nothing, and it's time for us to move on.
Once we put this behind us, we have such an incredibly bright future.
I think it's crucial that every nurse show up to vote, because it is who votes that is going to make the decision for the future of this hospital and all of our lives and the work environment that we work in.
It's very important for everyone to vote. Everyone needs to come in. We all do have a voice.
And anyone who chooses not to vote is allowing somebody else's voice to speak for them.
And it's a very simple thing, and it doesn't take any time, but it's very important.
I hope everybody votes no at this upcoming election, August 27th and 28th.
If we vote no and get rid of the union, it will be better for the nurses and for our patients.
Vote no to CNA.